Welcome, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into some really quite fascinating numbers. They paint a vivid picture of global industrial growth.
hmm
We're unpacking the Global Polyurethanes Market Report 2025. It's the global edition, compiled by Cognitive Market Research.
Right. A lot of data in there.
Exactly. And our mission really is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from this huge analysis for you. We want to help you quickly get up to speed on this pretty significant sector.
It often flies under the radar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Polyurethanes, but they're everywhere.
They really are. Okay, so let's unpack this. For anyone maybe less familiar, polyurethanes are these incredibly versatile polymers.
Hmm.
Think of them as, I don't know, the silent workhorses behind so much of our modern world.
Yeah, like insulation in buildings.
Right, keeping homes warm, or the foam in your car seats, even the soles on your shoes.
Exactly. So this market is a great indicator, really, of industrial and consumer demand globally.
Totally. And the report shows this market is experiencing some, well, serious growth momentum. Back in 2021, the market sales revenue, it was already over $71 billion.
Wow. Okay. $71 billion.
Yeah. And by this year, 2025, that number's projected to hit around $85.4 billion.
So a decent jump already.
A very decent jump. And looking further out to 2033, it's expected to reach a pretty substantial $123.3 billion,
Over $120 billion.
which represents a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 4.7%.
Wow, okay, 4.7%. That's a strong, steady climb, globally speaking.
It is.
But what's really fascinating here, I think, is not just that overall number, but how it breaks down region by region. Because that reveals very different speeds, different scales of expansion across the globe, tells, different economic stories.
Here's where it gets really interesting. You're right. Let's dive into those regional dynamics. This is where the nuances really pop out.
Okay, so starting with Asia Pacific. It's
Okay.
clearly leading the pack globally, really acting as the engine of growth here.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021, the region generated nearly $26 billion.
Almost $26 billion. Okay.
And by 2033, that's projected to almost double, hitting over $47.4 billion.
Wow.
And that's achieving a high CGR of 5.3%.
Yeah.
That pace, it just points to immense industrial activity over there.
And within Asia Pacific, China's just undeniably the dominant force, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Revenue's climbing from just over $10 billion back in 2021
Right.
to an estimated nearly $19.3 billion by 2033.
Huge number.
Growing at a really robust 5.7% CGR. That's monumental.
It is. And right on China's heels, you've got India, showing an even faster growth trajectory.
Yes.
Yeah, recorded nearly $4.7 billion in 2021, but it's expected to surge to over $9.2 billion by 2033. That's with an impressive CGR of 5.8%, just edging out China's rate.
5.8%. That's significant. It implies just a massive scale up in industrial demand, right? Maybe driven by infrastructure, new manufacturing.
Could be absolutely new capacity coming online.
And beyond those two, giants, other key players in APAC are also contributing quite a bit. Japan, for instance, projected to reach almost $5 billion by 2033, still growing steadily at 4.8% CAGR.
Still very respectable.
Definitely. And we see similar strong, consistent growth across South Korea, Singapore, Southeast Asia as a whole, Taiwan too.
Right.
Even Australia, which is, a smaller market in comparison, is on a positive growth trend. It really feels like a region experiencing widespread industrialization.
It certainly paints that picture.
Okay, so moving across the Pacific, let's look at North America. It also holds a formidable position.
A more mature market, perhaps, but still huge.
Exactly. Mature, but powerfully influential. It generated over $20.4 billion in 2021.
Okay.
And that's forecasted to grow to nearly $33.5 billion by 2033. The CAGR there is 4.3%.
So a bit slower than APAC's average, but still very solid growth off a large base.
Absolutely. Not as explosive as parts of Asia, maybe, but still a massive and growing market.
And within North America, no surprise, the U.S. is the undisputed leader. Takes the lion's share.
Right.
Its market is projected to grow from over $16 billion in 2021 to more than $26 billion by 2033. That's at a solid 4.2% growth rate.
Okay, so just under the regional average.
Just slightly. Canada follows, interestingly, showing a slightly faster CAGR of 4.7%.
Oh, interesting. So stronger demand proportionally, maybe?
Could be. Suggests strong demand there, yeah. And Mexico is also on a healthy upward trajectory, around 4.5% CAGR.
Okay, so North America overall, Very strong. Now, let's shift our attention over to Europe.
Right, another major player.
Definitely holds a strong global share, generated over $15.5 billion in 2021, and expected to climb to nearly $26 billion by 2033. That's a growth rate of 4.5%.
So pretty much in line with North America, maybe slightly higher growth rate.
Yeah, very similar trajectory. It's a fascinating mix. Europe, established industrial bases, but also pockets of, significant expansion.
And if you look deeper, Germany really stands out. One of the higher growth rates in Europe, nearly 5% CAGR.
Okay.
Moving toward $4.5 billion by 2033. And what the report just calls rest of Europe, collectively.
Right, that grouping.
That shows an even stronger CAGR, 5.26%.
Over 5%. Wow. So that suggests pretty robust demand, perhaps from new or expanding industrial applications in, those aggregated markets.
That would be my guess, yeah. Something's driving growth there.
Absolutely. And then you have the UK, France, Russia, also substantial markets within Europe, each projected to go over $2.7 billion by 2033. Their SAGRs are hovering between 4% and 4.7%, so quite strong there too.
Consistent growth across the major economies.
Yeah. And countries like Spain, Denmark, Switzerland, they show steady expansion too, around 3.8% to 4.3% growth.
Yep.
Even the, let's say, smaller markets like Italy, Sweden, Luxembourg, they're all in positive territory, contributing to Europe's overall solid performance.
So a generally healthy picture across Europe.
Very much so. Now, shifting south to South America, this region is highlighted in the report, and I quote, as emerging with higher growth momentum.
Oh, okay. So one to watch.
Definitely. The market was over $4.2 billion in 2021, expected to reach an impressive $9 billion by 2033.
Doubling, more than doubling.
Yeah, at a growth rate of 4.88%, just under 5%. This really tells a story of, increasing industrialization development.
It truly does. And Brazil leads the way there, projected to grow from about $1.4 billion to over $3 billion by 33. That's also a nearly 5% CAGR.
Right. Big economy, strong growth.
But what's particularly interesting, I think, is Colombia. It shows the highest CAGR in the entire region, over 5%.
Over 5%, okay.
Yeah, 5.067% to be precise. It indicates maybe a very rapid, perhaps newer, adoption of polyurethanes in its industries.
Could be, starting from a smaller base maybe, but accelerating fast.
Exactly. And the rest of South America category is also experiencing a similar high growth rate, just over 5% as well.
Interesting. So really broad-based momentum there.
Seems like it.
And that momentum continues with other key players. Argentina, set to exceed $1 billion by 2033, growing at a solid 4.2% CAGR. Peru and Chile also show strong growth, in the 4.3% to 4.5% range. It reflects this widespread upward trend across the continent.
So South America is definitely looking dynamic.
For sure. Okay, next up, the Middle East.
Right.
This region recorded just over $3 billion in 2021, expected to grow to around $4.6 billion by 2033.
Okay.
The CAGR there is about 3.1%. So it shows more moderate expansion compared to some of the regions we've just discussed.
Yeah, 3.1%, definitely a slower pace than Asia or South America.
Right.
Within the Middle East, Saudi Arabia is the largest market, projected to reach nearly $2 billion by 2033. Its AGR is just over 3%, so pretty much in line with the regional average. It's a significant contributor, but the overall pace is, certainly more measured.
And that pattern of, let's say, moderate growth, it kind of extends across other key nations there.
Okay.
Turkey is set to exceed $1 billion by 2033. The UAE, Egypt, Qatar, they're all on a positive track, but growing in that sort of 2.9% to 3.4% range.
So steady, consistent demand, perhaps, rather than that explosive growth we see elsewhere.
Exactly. That sums it up well. Steady, but not explosive. And finally, let's look at Africa. The polyurethanes market there generated nearly $1.9 billion in 2021. Projected to increase to over $2.8 billion by 2033.
Right.
With a CGR of 3.1%. So very similar to the Middle East, actually, also exhibiting relatively moderate expansion.
Indeed, 3.1%. And South Africa contributed over $800 million in 2021, expected to grow to nearly $1.2 billion by 2033. Its growth rate is just under 3%, holds the largest share within the African market.
Okay, and Nigeria is another significant market there, projected to reach almost $740 million by 2033, with a slightly stronger CGR, actually 3.3%. Suggests growing industrial needs there, perhaps?
Potentially, yeah. Bit more dynamism, maybe?
And the rest of Africa collective also shows a similar growth pattern, around 3.1, 3.2%, contributing to the continent's overall steady but, not rapid expansion in this sector.
So if we try and connect all these regional pieces, tie it back to the bigger picture,
Yeah,
it's clear that while the overall global market is definitely on a robust upward path, these regional performances offer a really nuanced view.
definitely.
You see the clear leaders, the emerging dynamos like parts of Asia and South America, and then the established consistent contributors like North America and Europe, and the more moderate zones.
So, what does this all mean for you listening in? Well, understanding these regional variations, it can offer a surprising glimpse, can it?
Absolutely.
Into the underlying economic engines, the industrial demands shaping different parts of the world. It tells you not just how much growth there is overall, but where the really significant shifts are happening.
Right. And what that might imply for things like global supply chains, manufacturing trends.
Exactly. Okay, so just to summarize briefly, this deep dive into the Global Polyurethanes Market Report 2025 from Cognitive Market Research, it really reveals a consistent global growth story,
Yeah, definitely upwards.
with polyurethanes acting as a key indicator of industrial health.
And Asia-Pacific is truly leading the charge, wouldn't you say? Driven particularly by that incredible rapid industrialization in China and India.
No question.
Europe and North America, meanwhile, they continue to hold strong market shares, maintaining substantial, reliable growth. More mature, but still growing.
Right.
Then you have South America, which is clearly emerging with higher growth momentum, signaling significant industrial development happening there,
Yeah.
while the Middle East and Africa, on the other hand, are showing more moderate, but still consistent expansion.
A good summary.
And this maybe raises an important question for you to think about. Beyond just saying industrialization, what are the specific applications or maybe emerging technologies in regions like India and China that might be propelling their polyurethanes market growth at such an accelerated pace, especially when you compare it to the more mature yet still substantial growth in North America and Europe? What's the difference in what they're using it for?
That's a great question. What are those specific drivers? We hope this comprehensive look has, well, given you a useful shortcut to getting well informed on the global polyurethanes market. And maybe it sparked your curiosity to explore these economic and industrial trends even further.